I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry.
Hello, listeners and viewers. This is the Faison View podcast. Let's get to it, man. Please like, share, and subscribe my podcast every single Thursday, 5 p.m. Leak Faison is the channel. Leek Faison. Leek Faison. Man, let's get into it. It's either you don't know, you don't show, or you don't really care about what's going on in the hood. If you really know, if you're a real one, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Dope boys in the hood. Q. Man, this episode gonna be a special one, man. A lot of great topics, man. We're gonna get right into it, man. Color Power. You know what I'm saying? At Color Power. CLR_power. POWER. Yes, on Instagram. Please follow. You know what I'm saying? All the drip. All the exclusive drip. Man, let's get into it, man. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. So, number one, best artist of the decade. Because, you know, 2019 is coming to a head, man. It's getting there, man. It's crazy, man. Time is flying. A decade since 2010. 2020 is around the corner. So, first, best artist of the decade. Secondly, what is considered a good friend? What is considered a good friend? I feel like it's a very important question. And lastly, would you rather never be able to watch YouTube again, or never to have access to Instagram again? I feel like that's a very tough decision. Very tough, especially for me. Like, tough. So, man, let's get right into it, man. I'm glad to be back. Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You may tune in. So let's get to it, man. Best artist of the decade. Man, I'm going to go with number one. The Don, the boy. Drizzy Drake, man. It's like, it's almost undeniable. For real, the artist of the decade, his impact, what he means for the culture, how worldwide and global he is. And not just to sell, even though he's the top selling artist out of this decade, I'm pretty sure him or like Taylor Swift or something, you know, or like Rihanna. But definitely Drake deserves his flowers, man. He's been running the game for a good minute now, man. Shout out to Wayne, greatest rapper to do it, man. The boy, man, he's number one. I don't care what anybody says. You can debate it if you want, man. That's number one for me. Secondly, this was a tough one for me, but I feel like well-deserved. The baddest chick in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Baddest chick in the game. Number one is not near two. Rihanna. I feel like Rihanna's number two in the decade. This is just my opinion. Just know that. Like it, hate it. You know what I'm saying? This is just my views. Second, I definitely have Riri. Third, and not coincidental, and you got to think about artists. I'm not talking about rappers. I'm talking about pure artistry artists. Third, and I didn't do this on purpose. Third, in my opinion, C Breezy. The undeniable GOAT, man. Like, for real. Most talented, one of probably the most talented, especially my generation, people, artists, ever. Like, especially in my generation. I'm 24 years old. So, I guess you could say the millennials generation, whatever. Like, telling you, C Breezy, definitely undeniable GOAT, man, for real. Artistry, singing, dancing, you name it. Fourth, I would say, this is a tough one too. I would say Kendrick. Definitely Kendrick. Absolutely Kendrick. Kendrick has, just like the rest of these names, have classic albums, and his albums really stand the test of time. And with his albums, and like with Section 80 and Good Kid, Mad City, those type of bodies of work like transcended the culture, and what the content meant and what it stood for, and how far along Kendrick has come. It's just, it's really a testament to his greatness, man. Shout out to Kendrick. Five is like, you ain't got no, I ain't got no words for this. It's just the queen, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you, it's Beyonce. Definitely Beyonce. And my list may surprise people, but if you want to be real, that's who it is. I feel like Beyonce. So after Beyonce, who's 6, I got Bruno Mars. Like it, hate it, love it. Bruno Mars has been a hit factor for all artists. For all artists, I'm telling you, Bruno Mars get on that feature, your song, just like these other artists, is skyrocketing. It's over, like platinum, like straight platinum, off rip. 7, The Weeknd. The Weeknd, bruh, probably definitely one of my favorite R&B artists. Definitely one of my favorite. Like, really. And with Weeknd, even though he is an R&B artist, you can put him in other type of genres, like such as pop too. You got a little poppy, but like in the pop realm, but he's still R&B pop. The Weeknd, man, especially the early Weeknd, I still love the current day Weeknd. Don't get me wrong, because that EP he dropped like a year ago, fire. The whole daggone world was listening to with the 50 Shades Grey soundtrack. He's did a commercial and he's did it underground. Very successful. He deserves credit. Man, 8, my boy, it's a cold world. Cold world. J. Cole. And this was a hard one for me too, because this is just preference at the end of this, because the person I'm gonna say next was the hard debate on who I was gonna, decide. But this is just a preference one. Like, I love J. Cole. J. Cole has classic albums, just classic freaking albums. That Forest Hill Drive is unbelievable. Born Sinner, unbelievable. Oh my God, Friday Night Lights, unbelievable. It's his body of work, and also him doing it really mostly solo and getting platinum plaques. And they're not even saying it just off of platinum. It's really the fact that this man has the rapping ability and creativity to go platinum with no features. That's very hard to do, and people don't really understand that. And man, shout out to Cold World. 9th, definitely, and a lot of people probably feel like she should be higher, and rightfully so. Nicki Minaj, definitely. No questions, no debate. You like it, you like her, love her. I don't care how you put it, man. Nicki Minaj goes down in greatness. She's a legend, living legend. She deserves her respect. Just like Kanye, you may not, like, just like me, I may not agree with all their views and things, but you have to and must give respect to their artistry and who they are as legends, rightfully so. And the last one, it was kind of not confusing, a debate toss-up, because one, I don't really like listen to, but I know her impact, like real impact on this decade, for real. And the other person I really listen to, for real. And I'm talking about as an artist, I'm not just talking about as a rapper, because I'm just talking about rapper and that stuff. You have a lot of people that can be in this. I'm talking about an artist. And the toss-up for the last one was, and I know people who can say, of course, say Kanye. I would put Kanye and Wayne as like honorable mentions, because even though they're legends, and they were legends before the 2010s. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna say these two, and I can also throw like Future into this too, but definitely could throw Future in this. But I would say for the toss-up one, for me, it would probably be Travis Scott, Adele, or Future. And just Future impact, and I mean, of course, artistry, but you had to respect a run like that what Future did. And even though it's rap, is as an artist, it's hard to do, and have a run like that for 2 straight years, 3 straight years, and dropping back to back. And Adele, because she just transcending that voice is just so dynamic. She was like a hidden gem, because Adele, man, she hit them high notes. It's not really it's a lot of people that can compare, but it's not a lot of people that can go blow for blow with her. Just to be honest. And Travis Scott, man, definitely as an artist, Travis Scott is very, 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 very unique. And I respect Travis Scott because he's a hustler. He comes from the slums for real, for real. And Travis Scott, man, his performances, his entertainment value is bar none. Is up there. So I would say those three, between them three. You look at it you want. I really think, I definitely really think one of them three can definitely be an artist of the decade. And that's just me personally. I'm not just talking about sales, and because if you're talking about sales and you talking about you getting into all the logistics of things, you have Taylor Swift, you have Justin Bieber, you have Ed Sheeran. No denying that. You feel me? I'm not saying that, but this is my preference. Feel me, man? Let's get into another great topic, man. I feel like it's a real good topic. What is considered a good friend, man? A good friend to me, honestly, a real good friend to me is someone who can always keep it real with you and be honest with you, you know, and always, and not saying it should always be that way, but I feel like you don't have a real friend if they can't be real with you. They can't talk to you about certain things that you probably don't want to talk about, or something that's going on. Just having real dialogue and real conversation. I feel like a real friend is somebody that's there thick and thin, and no matter what's going on, no matter what the situation may be. And I feel like that's really, like, it's real. Loyalty is becoming a real lost. It's becoming a lost thing, man. It's really lost. Like, loyalty is so different and shady nowadays because you just have a lot of people that take to social media a lot of negative ways, you know, and social media can ruin a lot of friendships. It can ruin a lot of things, and just can be misconstrued. So, like, loyalty, people just different, man. People just so different nowadays. Like, they don't really grasp the true value of loyalty and what a real friend is. Like, I'm blessed, truly blessed for the friends and the circle I have, and to say I have a good amount of friends that I can trust thick and thin no matter what is going on. Like, hold me down, you feel me? And with all my friends and my good friends and my best friends, it's like, with us, if I can't really tell you how I feel, we're not really friends like that. And I feel like rule number one is, I don't like, just for me, preferably, I don't like a friend that is a yes man. You know, like, oh yeah, you should do that. Yeah, you should do that. Nah, tell me, you know, give me some constructive criticism. Give me something. Let me know this. Let me know that, man, because that's how I know it's real, and that's why I know it's in its purest form when it's coming from you and somebody I respect. You feel me? Like, I feel like there's just a lost cause, and a lot of people that's hanging with entourages that's in the industry and with celebrities and rappers, and they just want to be a part of things. I don't feel like that's just being loyal because you with them, and they had your back at some point. Yeah, they're probably just being yes man just to be by your side to get in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, real friends will tell you things that you just don't want to hear, but you need to hear it to get in a better mindset and to better yourself. Like, and in this segment is brought up because DMV artist, and he's very talented. And not saying just a DMV artist like he's nobody. He's actually a very good artist. And like, some of my friends had to really, you know, like get me hip to his work, because I was hip, but not as hip as, you know, as the most recent year. With GoldLink, man, GoldLink had his comments on Mac Miller. Him and Mac Miller was, you know, we're close friends with Mac Miller. Was here with us. Rest in peace to Mac Miller, most definitely. And this is just where I don't feel like is a good friend, in my opinion. And there's nothing to him personally or whatever the case may be. I'm just spilling my views on it because I felt like it was kind of tasteless. Because GoldLink he took to Instagram to express his feeling in his relationship with Mac Miller. rest in peace. And I just feel like, first off, number one, he has passed away. We shouldn't be speaking ill on this man's name at all. We should, and if it's nothing good to say it, don't say it, because he's not there to speak or defend for himself at all. And I feel like if you're a friend, you're not going to take to social media to express these type of views publicly when you're a public figure. I just find that tasteless, number one. I don't find that being a good friend. And on his post, the first sentence really took me away, and I was just like, nah, this ain't it, bro. Like, this could have, and that goes to my thing about loyalty. Like, you have a lot of people that probably are friends in your life, but they don't really understand the true concept of friendship and the rights and wrongs of what you should do and what you shouldn't. And this is something that you shouldn't do, in my opinion. I really don't think this is something you should do. And Goldlink's first comments on Mac Miller, and just him probably venting on social media, which shouldn't happen anyway. Well, the first sentence says, "I'd be lying if I was surprised that you died on us." And it's like gut-wrenching, because I don't see any of my friends, real friends, or me personally, if that were to ever happen, knock on wood, would ever take to anything publicly about how I feel, and as a man, not have the guts to tell this man that while he was alive. And a true friend doesn't do that, and a true friend doesn't take to social media to express their views on somebody that has passed away. And I'm not trying to say he shined it, and also we all have our different ways of mourning, but this is not the way at all, bro. And you spilling how you felt about him and how y'all weren't on good terms before, knowing you guys had a prior beef or something, obviously that tension or that thing is still there with you to even open up your mouth to say this. And I totally and honestly agree with Anderson .Paak, because Anderson .Paak is also a close friend of Mac Miller. And, he was trying to reach out to him and he didn't contact him back. And he was just expressing the same sentiment I was expressing, like, you're not a true friend if you're doing these things. It seems like you're doing this for clout and trying to get attention, unwarranted attention, over a real great man and a very good rapper who passed away from us far too soon. Mac Miller was just such a lovable person. And I didn't know him personally, but he was always smiling wherever you seen him, videos, with a red carpet. It didn't matter. He was always a good spirit. And I don't feel like he deserved the comments in which Goldlink spoke about. And that just goes back to my point. It's just like, what do you consider a good friend? And this just, as an example, I don't feel like this is a good friend for real. If I have a problem with you, I'm not taking that to the public to solve it, especially if you're my real friend. If we phony, I don't really mess with you, but it's whatever. You feel me? Like, that is what it is. It is what it is. But for me to ever like post about somebody that's passed away that was really close to me and express something that may not be understandable for the public, no at all. I don't feel like that's right at all. And I just feel like it's just a lost art of how we view friendship, how we move in our friendships, and loyalty in friendship, man, for real. But, man, rest in peace to Mac Miller, man. Rest in peace to Mac Miller, a very great man, gone too soon. But all you people out there, man, be good friends, man. Be good friends to your real ones, man, to your real ones. And lastly, man, very interesting one, man. Would you rather never be able to use YouTube again or never have access to Instagram again? This is a very tough question for me. Like, very, very tough, because YouTube is, I've always loved YouTube, even before Instagram was introduced to us. Like, YouTube was life, and it still is. And especially me tuning into other podcasts and having other influencers. It's so dope. And then YouTube is nothing. It's nothing not on YouTube. But and the other thing about Instagram has everything, videos, pictures, posting, your content, marketing your brand, and I would just say that would be a real tough question for me, but I would say maybe YouTube, not be able to use YouTube just because of my follower on Instagram and the impact I can have with my content on there. And just with the difference between YouTube is of course you can gain subscribers, you still gain viewers, but with Instagram it's more of an instant, gratification. But YouTube, it's the same thing too, because people are living off of YouTube. People are actually real live YouTubers, and that's real. I mess with it, and that's dope because that's why I post my content at. Like I want people to come see me. I want you to like, share, and subscribe my stuff, man. I'm trying to get big, man. Pause, but it ain't even no pause. You know what I'm saying? But for real, man, like that's just a tough question for me because both of my main platforms to market and brand myself, So it maybe had to be YouTube just because of my mass following, the following I have on Instagram. That's just what it is. And I'm like really a new YouTuber. I'm a little fresh to this, even though I used to be. I've been on YouTube for a very long time, but I'm new to like YouTube and then getting my face out there. So may say Instagram, may say YouTube, never did. I don't know. That's a hard one. But look here, please like, share, and subscribe my podcast every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, man. It's popping, man. It's the Faison View podcast, man. It don't get better, All right, one, peace and love. Color Power at Color Power, CLR_power, man.